What's up, guys, and welcome to another edition of Market Marauders, beating the market one trade at a time. If you're the Market Marauders investment channel, helps you to find the best deals in the market. If there's something you're interested in, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Definitely helps the YouTube algorithm promote the videos, and also subscribe. All right, so let me jump into my top penny stocks under a dollar. So let's jump into it. So the first one on here, we have ticker sign TTNP, and that is for Titan Pharmaceutical. At the end of the week, they ended at 17 cents. They are currently bearish, denoted by the moving average 10 line being basically at the moving average 50 line, which is this purple line. So the way I base on seeing if a stock is bullish or bearish, I do the moving average 10 line based against the moving average 100 and moving average 50 line. So the moving average 10 line being this line, when it went above the moving average 50 and it was clearly above the moving average 100, I would say at this time it was bullish. But since it went down and it seems to be at the same level as the moving average 50, I would say that it is bearish. So background information on them, they recently had their third quarter 2020 earnings. So let's just gonna go over this very briefly. So in September 2020, the company completed a registered direct offering, resulting in net cash proceeds of approximately 2.4 million. And then also here in October 2020, they did another public offering, which resulted in 5.7 million. So they're acquiring quite a bit of capital. They have a new project they're focusing on, which is called Pro Neura. So if you want to know more about that, go to the website and look it up. But I think as far as financials are concerned, that they're acquiring a lot of capital, 5.7 to 2.4 million, which will definitely help the company continue to grow and focus more on this product. It seems to be their flagship product at the current moment. So next we have ticker sign ACST, and that is for Acasti Pharmaceuticals. They ended the week at 26 cents. So they are bullish at the time of this video. They're above the moving average 10 line, being above the moving average 50 and 100 line, which is purple and yellow line. So that's good. Going back from background information on them, they seem to have been hit pretty hard by the pandemic and everything that's going on. So that's we can't fault them for that. A lot of companies have been struggling. But it says compared to a loss of operations of 6.3 million from the 3 months ended September 30th, 2019, that they had lost 7.8 million. So they increased their loss basically year over year from 6.3 to 7.8 million. So they've lost more money. So it says the increase was due mainly to impairment changes of 5.3 million, 3.7 million related to intangible assets, and 1.6 million related to production and lab equipment, offset by production and R&D. So when it comes to a lot of these pharmacy companies, R&D is a large portion of their budget, so that's to be expected. They spend quite a bit of money on that because that's how they come up with products. So then they have their net loss of 6.1 million compared to the net loss of 21.2 million of the 3 quarters September 30th, 2020. So I think if they can get their financials together, they'll be a pretty fantastic company, or definitely one to look at. I think a lot of companies are forced to switch the way they do business, financially, with the pandemic and everything else going on. It's just a rough time for companies in general. So I would definitely keep them on your radar, especially considering the price they're currently at, because they could have some more growth potential if they can get their financials together. So next we have ticker sign CTRM, and that is for Castor Maritime Incorporated. At the time of this video, they are bearish, then about moving average 10 line, being below the moving average 50 line. So just because it's in between the 50 and 100, or just because it crossed 100 and it hasn't crossed the 50, I would still say that it is bearish. So even if it's between, I still call it bearish. Some people may call it bullish, and you may say, oh, well, it's bullish because it ended the day at 16 cents, which is above, this moving average 50 line. I would still consider it bearish because the moving average 10 line has not gone above the moving average 50 line. So that's the way I judge them. There's a lot of different ways you can go out there and judge stocks, but that's the way I look at charts and basically how I read them. So background information on Castor Maritime. They have their results that ended in September. So it says the revenue net of 2.8 million for the 3 months ended September 30th, 2020, compared to 1.2 million of the 3 months ended September 30th, 2019. So it had a 133% period to period increase. So that was really good for the company. Net loss / income net loss of $580,153 the 3 months of September 30th, 2020, as compared to the net income of $244,229 for the 3 month ended of September 30th, 2019. So their loss, is not that great in my opinion compared to their income. So their revenue. So their revenue was 2.8 million. So to me, it's expected for a company to increase their net loss as their revenue or net revenue increases. So you make more, you spend more. Basically, how it goes. So I think financially, this company is in a pretty secure place. I would like to see them continue to grow and to increase these numbers. So September, that's when they had this earnings. So they probably have one coming right around the corner. So I'll definitely look to see, any updates on if they were able to increase their revenue and minimize their net loss. So going into the next one, we got ticker sign ADMP. They ended the week at 43 cents. They are bullish at the time of this video, noted by moving average 10 line being above moving average 50 and 100 line. So they are bullish at the time of this video. So that's a good metric for them. Going into some background information on them, it says that, so we'll go back to the financial report. So this is their third quarter 2020 financial results or business update. Basically explains things that they're doing. So this is their main drug that they're focusing on. It's called ZIMHI. So the FDA provided an actionable update, or PD UFA, November 15th for companies resubmitted NDA or new drug application resulting or relating to ZIMHI. So these are pretty good things going on. These is just all part of the drug approval process. So, it's not anything uncommon. It's all standard stuff to me. So, definitely going to be looking at that as time goes on. So for third quarter financial results, we're going to see on here that they had revenue of approximately 4.3 million and 5.9 million for the 3 months ended September 30th, 2020 and 2019. So their revenue actually went down quite a bit. So it says this decrease of revenue is approximately 27%. So that's this 4.3 million compared to the 5.9 million. So they are losing money, or they did have a decrease, but that decrease of 27% to me is basically based on this. When a company goes through filing for a PDUFA, an NDA, these are all expenses that the company has to pay to the FDA to do this process. So it's not a cheap process. So I definitely could see they probably saved up money to get this item passed or try to get this drug passed, but it definitely is a process, and it can take a toll capital wise to a pharmaceutical company. So they did get a response. So the response says today announced that after a close of business, the U.S. Marks the November 13th. They received complete response letter, or CRL, from the FDA regarding NDA. So it received a complete response letter, or CRL, from the United States Food and Drug Administration, or FDA, regarding the new drug application, or NDA. So a lot of acronyms on there for the ZIMHI, high dose injection treatment for opioid overdose. The CRL stated the FDA determined it cannot approve the NDA in its present form, and provided recommendations needed for resubmission. So it's not ultimately a bad thing. It's not like the company has failed. It's just something was going on with the form that they need to fix in order to resubmit it. So I think once they resubmit it, and if it gets approval, definitely be a huge catalyst for the company, and you could definitely see the stock shoot up after that. So I definitely have them on my radar for that, and definitely think they have potential once that approval comes through, or if it comes through, to shoot up further than what they currently are at. So going to the next one, we have ticker sign ADXS for Advaxis. At the time of the video, they are bearish, denoted by the moving average 10 line being below the moving average 50 and 100. They ended the week at 28 cents. Overall, kind of low for them. They did touch 30 cents, but looking for them to potentially go back up. If VWAP can go back up, seems to be a lot of selling at the moment, but a pretty large order came through the 1650, so there may be hope for them for an early morning mover. They also ended on a pretty high note, or positive green, so they may be an early morning mover on Monday. So background information on them, just going to really read some of these press releases. So it just says that they had announced a $9.2 million public offering. They announced pricing of $8 million public offering, and their proposed public offering of common stock warrants. Okay, so that's basically the same thing. They updated data from their ongoing ADXS 503 phase 1 of 2 lung cancer trial at the 2020 Society for Immunotherapy of Cancer, or SITC annual meeting. So that's pretty good that they're making updates on the different drugs that they're trying to do. But I think these two things are going to help the company go up from where it currently is at. This public offering of 9.2 million will definitely help the company fund this phase 1 of 2 trial for their ADX 503. So once they complete this public offering, I think the company will be poised to go up and definitely have the money that they need to go and file their NDAs and PDUFAs, and follow those things with the FDA, because they are pricey for these different drug submittals. So I think once this is closed, the company will definitely have a lot of capital to make further moves, and it will definitely increase the value of the company and the stock price. So lastly, we got ticker sign MUX, and that's for McEwen Mining. They ended the week at 96 cents, so very close to $1. They closed at 98 cents, but went down to 96 cents, so not too far of a gap down. They are bullish, noted by the moving average 10 line being above moving average 50 and 100 at the time of this video. Background information on them. This is their Q3 2020 plus exploration news is what they call it. So cash and liquid assets, working capital since September 30th, 2020 were 18.8 million, a positive of 21.6 million respectively. So they basically mine gold. So they said their production was 23,100 gold ounces and 575,000 silver ounces, or 30,400 gold equivalent ounces. So for Q3, they spent 8.5 million on exploration and advanced projects, and were reporting a net loss of 9.8 million compared net loss to 11.5 million in 2019. So their net loss decreased, so they're slowing the amount of money that they are burning, which is good. I think there's going to be more money funding gold. I think gold prices are going to continue to go up. But to me, gold and silver are still speculative plays. I put them in the same category as like Bitcoin. So it's just, to me, a place where people park money when they think the market's going to correct or the market's going to go down. But companies that mine gold, I think gold and silver are gonna be here to stay. So there'll always be money to fund those. Now there'll be different good years and bad years for gold, but I think overall we're in a pretty good year for gold. I think with Biden becoming president, there will be more gold mining. There may not be more regulations, or there may be more regulations on mining in general, but I think gold and silver may potentially be good places where investors will put more money, which will give more money to companies like McEwen Mining. So with that being said, these are the picks for the week. These are on my watch list. So good luck to everybody out there trading. Make sure you hit that subscribe. Definitely helps the video. Hit that thumbs up. Helps the video as well. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.